set price for XRP, I think I've made the first steps to calculating what that price is. I've actually got numbers to share with you as well. Let me get into my rationale, my reasoning behind even diving into this in the first place. If you go back to that stablecoins mention of XRP and XLM in that World Bank document, that will be linked somewhere, probably the first comment on this video. We all have seen this part of the document where it mentions XRP and XLM as stablecoins for payments, for cross-border payments, right? This is the first time we've heard them as stable, because they're not stable right now, alluding to the idea that XRP and XLM are supposed to be stable in order to be used properly, okay? So we've all seen that. But this is something that no one else has read from this very same page, right? And I've gone down the rabbit hole. It says here, it's supposedly capable of settling a payment within 4 seconds and handling 1,500 transactions every second. We know this. It also goes on to say that a certain fraction of XRP is destroyed in the process, being 0.00001 XRP, meaning the total supply of XRP decreases over time. We understand this, but get ready for it. In theory, maintains its value. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? If the World Bank are calling XRP a stable coin, and they are also highlighting the burn rate as a primary factor in creating stability and stabilization of the XRP price, my thought process was, well, what does the price of an XRP have to be in order for the burn rate to counteract the growth or the price in order to maintain a stable value? I hope I'm explaining that properly. So I went into the rabbit hole and I did the calculations and I figured out what the price would have to be for XRP for the burn rate to be the exact balance of the growth of the network. Right, so the first thing I thought we really had to understand here was the monthly transaction volume. I'm going to put that in here. Monthly transaction volume. We're going to actually, in the formula, refer to this as M. Now, I took a look on the internet just to see the volume, the daily volume on the XRP ledger as of today, the day of recording it, which is also the day this is coming out. And I found it was $969,698,115. That's just under $1 billion. Now, obviously, you have to times that by 30 to get the monthly amount, which actually brings us to $28,990,943,450 over the course of a month on the XRP ledger. Now, that's number one. Number two, we obviously have to look at the growth rate of the XRP ledger and XRP as a whole. Now, this is very difficult because sometimes it can go up 90% and it can go down. But if we just assume a 1% growth rate month on month, now I've got no basis other than just pulling that out my butt, that 1% growth rate. But let's look at a growth rate like that. So that's a monthly growth rate, and we're going to mark that by R in the formula. And so R in this instance equals 1% or 0.01. And that's essentially saying that if the XRP ledger was doing $1 billion of value in a month, next month it's going to do 1.1 billion. That's the assumption here. And I'm sorry about this handwriting, but I'm just excited. I also write like a 4-year-old. The next thing we need to look at is the transaction per second, the TPS. So that TPS we know for the XRP ledger is 15.